going on, y'all? This is Rice Patty Daddy. I got a video here of CDX versus Neo in a TDM match, and this is actually the first time that I've caught Neo at least a 6-on-6 CDX versus Neo. Usually there's only like three of us or three CDX, and we end up fighting a full squad at Neo. But by no doubt, Neo is a tough set of players. So by any means, you can see we're starting off with at least I decided to start it off with the Hydra only because I first started noticing Spectre shock trains, and really it's going to be a dumb fight if I have to end up rushing a bunch of Spectre shock trains and they shoot me a couple times and then they just drop some Spectre Orkins right when I get inside their spawn area trying to kill them. So it's pretty much useless just trying to rush those. It's kind of pretty much just a trap. So going with Hydra is pretty much your best bet as far as a counter to a Spectre shock train. It's kind of they're going to jump up and start shocking people whenever they get a chance, and you're just going to keep on nailing them. But it's the best way to get them without wasting a bot trying to rush them, and either they kill you or one of their teammates kills you once you get close to their spawn. I guess with the Hydras, what I've noticed is you gotta kind of have to, as far as the physics-wise, you have to kind of have a good idea of what the map layout is, and the cover that they're behind, and the angle you're arcing your Hydras at. So I try to kind of go against the angle. As you can tell, I'm kind of arcing it. I'm aiming it to the left so it gets a nice curve into the right. You can tell that the cover that he was behind is kind of opening up towards that left. So that's, if I explain that in a way that makes sense. That's the only way I can think of right now, but that's the best way I've found to kind of nab people hiding behind cover. Is definitely knowing that layout of the cover they're behind and arcing the Hydra in such a fashion that you can nail them. On the opposite side, if you're the person who's hiding, just make sure you're continuously walking into that wall. It kind of, I don't know, forces the physics of the game to make the Hydra land sort of on top of the cover that you're behind. So there's kind of two aspects: one getting shot by the Hydra, and one using the Hydra and evading the Hydra. I guess a couple good points for it. So what I do with the Hydra is I try to have a good idea where my teammates are at and what sides are being pushed and what sides aren't. I try to first concentrate definitely on the Spectre shock trains. Those are the guys that are going to be nabbing your teammates, taking energy off you, especially if they're shooting somebody by you or shooting you. So I try to go after those. Those are my first priority. The second priority is anybody who's rushing. If somebody's coming in close, you got to get rid of those first and just lay off the Spectre shock train. Only because, one, you're a support bot, and as you can tell, we have a shock train here, and if Spectre Orkins starts come flying in, you got to nail them before they start taking out you or your teammates. So just remember to don't get stuck on a target. Remember to switch up and change your priority of who you're focusing on. The third thing is, you can tell I'm moving from right to left. I have a good idea that the right is pretty much, it's not going anywhere. They have that bulwark, I think, still over there who's not going anywhere, and they have another long range. So really the right side, out of those three players who are over there, they're not going to push, and you really have to worry about it. So that's why I'm moving to the left side, only because my teammates have it covered, and that side's not going to do anything. This area can provide some good cover. It's a little difficult, especially I think we're lucky only because Neo is not using any Hydras. So that gives us a super huge advantage, and that's really the big reason why we're ahead right now. Unfortunately, TDM has become a super Hydra game. Nothing you can really do about it. It's going to stay that way. Sometimes I just look like I ate something nasty in my mouth when I see TDM and I see another squad who I know is using Hydras, but unfortunately, it's a perfect weapon for TDM. It is, and it sucks that it has to be that way. I really hope they get rid of TDM, because as much as I hate the Hydras, they're totally necessary. So as you can tell, right now I'm getting attacked by this the Scourge, and then there was also the Inquisitor who flew at me. Right here, I just missed that jump. If I made it, I would have been able to survive. But as you can tell, I'm getting rocked by the Scourge, who's holding me down, and the Inquisitor on the left is approaching me. So my days are numbered right here, more like seconds. So I get taken out. I'm gonna respawn on the left side, only because that side is being pushed really hard. I come up with the Vortex just because I remember there was the Inquisitor. The Spectre with that Scourge got taken out. But this map is really awesome for the Vortex, and I'll try to give a better idea because I haven't given any commentary on the Vortex. Let's see what I'm focusing on. The Inquisitors, I believe I wrote about it, are awesome targets. I shouldn't have fired all four at once, for sure. I should have just dabbled with one and then had three, but by the time he actually, his stealth comes back up, I would have reloaded and I could have taken him out, but somebody else did. But again, just fire that one, see if they have a jump, whether if it's an Inquisitor or a Spectre or whatnot, and just see what they're going to do, and then fire off the second and third, and leave the fourth for your last second coming down from your jump, or just the last second, just to make sure at least either 2 or 3 out of 3 hit for sure. Now here's the Fury. I angled it, as you can tell, I angled it towards the right, only because it was going to curve into the left, and Fury was walking into that direction. So that's one good tip on how to get a good hit, especially on Fury, Inquisitor, Lance, a Leo, is kind of dictating where they're going to go and making sure that the Vortex kind of spirals into their path of direction. So obviously, not obviously, but the right side you can tell is being taken care of. I got the Inquisitor, a great target for the Spectre. I just got butt rammed by my my buddy over there, and right here is where you're going to see this Spectre Orcan come up. So we got the Spectre Orcan coming up, and you have to kind of prioritize your targets right now. You've got the Inquisitor and the Spectre Orcan. So the Spectre Orcan just jumped, and the Inquisitor jumped a while ago. So I actually shoot the Inquisitor first, because I have my teammates on my right, and as you can tell, they're taking them out. So this is really a big part of the team plays, knowing where your teammates are behind you, and then kind of understanding, timing your opponents when their next jump or stealth is going to come up. So it's a lot to think about, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, and you develop your own style into it. But kind of determining when the best time is to shoot somebody, especially when you have multiple targets. Now they're pushing hard, only because you can tell, I mean, we're up and they're just going crazy, so they're really not using any type of cover. You're just bum rushing. So this is the time to get, I say this a lot, but this is the time to get that free booty. They're leaving themselves open, and I just got rocked in the head by the big old bear's feet jumping over me. So look, this would never happen if you're at the beginning of a game, Spectre just kind of running on top. So this is where you just start collecting the booty. And that's about it. As you can tell, the match is pretty much over. They're just throwing away bots only because they know that they're going to lose. And it was a good game. If we didn't have Hydras and it was just square to square, no Hydras, all brawl out match, I think it would have been pretty interesting. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching, and check out the other videos. Thanks a lot.